first uphill finish of this year's Tour of Oman. A few attacks on the Al-Kurayat climb. When you see this, you know what month it is. It's Middle Eastern Highway Climb month, aka February. This is the first one of Oman. 2.8k, 7%. It's actually a nasty 3.6k, 9% climb in the first 40k's, but likely to be, or locked on to be, the group reaching the base together rather than a breakaway winning this stage. UNOX and a lot of these teams have been decimated by COVID positive cases, not just in this race, but in Tour de la Provence. Carapaz pulling out there this morning, and UNOX I think have like 3 or 4 riders. Their big man for the day was Anton Charmig. He did well at Saudi Tour. If you watch those videos, not a day for Mark Cavendish, who won yesterday looking the best he's looked in like 3 years. That was an insane win from him yesterday. Anyway, the most important news of the day is I am getting trolled by Euskaltel Euskadi. They got Peo Goikecha in the break once again, knowing full well that I find it nearly impossible to pronounce his name, I assume. So now teams are devising tactics around making it difficult for me to make highlight videos when my stress levels are already permanently at 100. Mark Cavendish, on the other hand, the opposite of that, looking pretty chilled with Ryan Gibbons. But yeah, I actually love Euskaltel Euskadi class kits, and I'm hoping they can take a Vuelta stage win this year. But anyway, back to Tour of Oman. Quickstep and UAE controlling. UAE riding for Rui Costa, Quickstep riding for Fausto Masnada, their man on GC. You can see Goikecha on the front there pulling, but yeah, the breakaway was doomed as they hit some climbs, and when they got into the highway, into the run into the final climb, UAE were clawing them back, and you can see UNOX had like 2 riders to bring Charmig into good position. Well, they couldn't really bring him into good position for this climb. Gazprom started pacing really hard on the front. Bike exchange, I think we're going for Kevin Coglioni, the young Italian. And here, obviously, is the start of the climb to Al-Kurayat. Cavendish says goodbye, but Intermarché had probably the 2 of the strongest riders uphill here, Rein Taramai and Jan Hirt. Rui Costa made an early move, marked I think by Henry van Dennebeel, young DSM Neo Pro. Jan Hirt then attacks on the right hand side. He's got Rein Taramai sitting in the wheels. Both of these guys did really well at Vuelta a España last year, and both of them look absolutely identical, which makes it almost impossible to identify them the way they're riding the bike. Quickstep were in a bit of disarray. Fausto Masnada, he's not the second rider there. He's having to close this in the group behind with the Gazprom rider on his wheel. Charmig and Jesper, 2 of the favourites for the stage, were out of position, nowhere to be seen when the Quickstep rider counterattacks. You can't see the yellow UNOX jersey. That's a Cofidis rider, not Jesper. And so Jan Hirt is the first Intermarché rider there. Taramai is the second one. Hirt has just attacked, and he goes again. And I think both of these guys have been training at altitude in Colombia, and Intermarché, pretty switched on team. They know they need points early in the season. They know these races are less competitive GC-wise. A Dot Pro race in February here is not as hard as winning, well, Tour de la Provence for starters, or a lot of Dot Pro races throughout the year. And they've had 2 of their best climbers. They're looking in good condition this race, and with Green Mountain to come, even if they don't win GC, both of them should take a lot of GC points. Hirt gets a good gap, and finally, Charmig makes his appearance on the front. You can see Rein Taramai sprinting behind, about to try and get onto his wheel and to close him down as he's chasing his teammate Jan Hirt. And Charmig, he was very strong in the Saudi Tour. A bit unlucky. You make your own luck on the crosswinds, but lost time in the crosswinds, I think on a few stages, but still finished 7th on GC. You remember that last stage, the sprint stage, he tried to actually get in the break and take back time. Jesper tries to attack across to Jan Hirt, who we can't see in screen. That's Rein Taramai, the Intermarché rider, getting dropped. Charmig gets onto Jesper's wheel, counters over the top, and finally we see, with about 125 meters to go, Jan Hirt come into view. Charmig goes straight past him just as it levels off a little bit, and they both get back into the saddle, taking a huge win for UNOX. He was G'd up with 3 guys there from the team at this moment. They got the news yesterday that they were unsuccessful in their bid for a Tour de France wildcard this year, and they won here, and spoiler alert, they won at Tour of Antalya. Maybe the most exciting Pro Conti team in the world right now. X, well, and also one with Johannesson in the stage in Bessèges last week. They are making moves, and it is a lock that they will be a World Tour team in 2026. But before then, you will see the likes of Charmig, Tiller, Johannesson, etc. winning races and maybe some World Tour races soon, even this year, particularly in the case of Johannesson. But here's the final top 10 for the stage. Charmig first in Hirt, Gisbert, Masnada, Costa, Tarmay, Van Dernabeel, Lopez, Nekrasov and Schmid. Charmig goes into the GC lead 4 seconds ahead of Hirt and 8 seconds ahead of Gisbert. This is what he had to say about defending it tomorrow.
Right now I'm just enjoying the stage winner, so it's already big for me. But tomorrow start on the front row, and we have to defend the jersey the whole day, so it's going to be special for sure. It'll
be pretty difficult for them to defend tomorrow, given they don't have many teammates. It's an up and down stage. The best thing for X to do will be to let a non-threatening GC-wise breakaway go, and then not really have to chase at all. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you with the wrap-up tomorrow. Ciao.